Pipe and Coffee Book Clubbers. I haven't done a video in a while, so I wanted to do the first one kind of coming back uh, on a subject that I think a lot of people and a lot of the viewers here find more interesting. My pipe content seems to do a lot better than when I talk about literature or coffee, but that doesn't mean I'm going to quit talking about either of those. But today I want to talk about my 5 favorite, generally accessible pipe shapes and pipes that I've bought over the years and why I like them. You know, it's interesting. I have a lot of pipes that I really like, but a number of them are either out of production now. Some of them are a little tough to find. So what I wanted to talk to you about today are pipes that you could actually go out and buy right now. Some broad production pipes and some pipes that aren't horribly expensive. So probably best just to get started. All right. So many of you have gotten into pipes through a couple different companies that are popular, right? So Peterson's and Savinelli are both very popular. They have very accessible pipes you can buy for you know, you can get some less than $100, some are a couple hundred. You know, they have a broad range, but they've been around. Both have been around for well over 100 years. In the case of one, 150, I believe. But at any rate, there are 2 shapes, one from each company, that I favor, and I have multiple pipes of these shapes. I'll start out with Peterson's. So I believe that Peterson makes the quintessential Bulldog, and it's not the straight Bulldog. I really love their 80S. This is in the Aran finish, ARAN, nickel band. I prefer the bent or the partially bent Bulldog. For some reason, it feels right. It's got a nice got a nice feel in your hand, right? Bulldogs that are straight sometimes looks like this giant weird industrial thing just sticking up out of the pipe. Where in this case, this just has nice flow. Every one of my Peterson 80S's smoke really well. Only one of them passes a pipe cleaner because of the holes don't always line up 100%. But that's not this pipe. That's kind of newer production Peterson, or maybe not necessarily newest production, but production over the last few years. Still a great pipe. I enjoy this one. This one goes in my pocket a whole lot. I bought this one to commemorate an event, so it also makes it a little special. But I kept buying them. I have like 4 of these. Not this same finish, but it is a constant great pipe. Nice large chamber. Not huge, right? This isn't a pipe you're going to smoke for 2 hours. For me, this pipe goes for about an hour. And it just kind of has an elegant feel to it. I do really like the way that the diamond shank and my thumb fits. I like the way that my forefinger goes over the taper. I don't know. This is almost a perfect pipe shape for me. This is about as good as it gets. And I have had some from other manufacturers, and the Peterson for size and shape just works out the best. So for me, that's my favorite Bulldog. Savinelli, on the other hand, great pipe company. A lot of things are very accessible. Most of them have a small filter system where you can put a balsa wood filter in here, and I find that to be the less egregious of the filters. It and the rock maple Brigham filter that allows smoke to pass across it rather than having to go through it. Those are both much better filter systems, but I don't always use a filter with my Savinellis. And this is a 614. This may very well be my favorite pipe shape in general. This one I can get up to a couple hours smoke out of, and it doesn't look like there's a huge chamber, but it's very deep, and it's almost, I don't know, I said the last one was perfect. I feel the same about this. The great thing about this one though is when it's in your mouth, you have a full field of view. So for me, this is my reading pipe. If I'm sitting out on the front porch in the rocking chair or something reading, or if I'm working at the cigar lounge with my laptop in my lap, this is the one I'll go to. I have a few of these actually, and these are available in a broad range of finishes. Some of the lower end ones, or even on this one, came from the estate market. This one actually is old enough to where it's got 4 letters. It's a 2614, which means it was probably made in the 70s. This is their dry system. I really like their dry system. Not necessarily more than the Peterson's dry system, but they have a P-lip like thing, right? So this one has a rectangular hole rather than the dot. It does basically the same thing, but for size, and you know, if this is the umpal basically, so it's a really nice deep bend in this pipe. I love these. This is one that, you know, if I had 2 pipes to carry around forever, now let me think about that, because I'm about to throw another one in. This is going to be one of, obviously, the 5 pipes, but this would be probably in my top 3. I love this pipe and the variants thereof. So I highly recommend this one, especially if you're a reader. It's a great pipe. The next one, this one is out of production, but a very similar one is still made. So this is a Comoys. This one is a 182, I believe, as my age here. One's the billiard, one is the, oh no, this is a 495. The 182 is actually one of my favorite billiards, and although it didn't make the cut as my favorite billiard, as far as a classical billiard goes, find a Comoys 182. Chacombe actually makes most of the old Comoys, or at least some of the more popular older Comoys shapes. And again, this is a 495. It's a pot, huge chamber, right, for size. Great for smoking Englishes or complex blends where you really want to get an even burn across the top and burn as many of the different varietals as you can. This one is a Comoys Guildhall, which I have a huge collection of Guildhall and Everyman pipes. I really like a saddle bit. This is my carry all the time pipe. Not this one, the other one's in my bag, which I carry all the time. It's just a really awesome machine for smoking tobacco. And it's kind of simple, right? I really like the way it feels when I walk around with it. It's not huge. It's just a great little pipe. And again, if you can find one of the old Comoys, get it on the estate market. But I know that Chacombe makes these, so they're available. Very nice. Probably one of the better all-around utilitarian pipes that I've ever used. But that's my third. We just talked about billiards, and my favorite kind of classical proportioned billiard is indeed that Comoys 182, which is a larger billiard with a saddle bit. But my favorite just billiard shape, and really most of these, a lot of these are variants on the billiard, but is the Bing, right? Pencil shank, modest chamber. This one is a Bruno Nutten's Bing. I have pretty large collection of Bings from different companies. This one's accessible. It's a little bit higher price point than what a lot of people may be looking for. Maybe not. I mean, I've got more expensive ones, more valuable ones, I guess. Savinelli makes a Bing. The only issue I have with Savinelli's Bing is it has a slight bend in the stem, and I prefer the straights. I honestly believe that the Bruno Nuttons Bing is the best one available right now. Now, Merchant Service makes a Bing, which is arguably the original. It's not the original company, but it is the original name of the company. It's a nice one. Okay. So Jacopo makes an extraordinary Bing. There are some artisans that make really nice Bings. I mean, basically, it's a pencil shank billiard. The great thing about them is they feel really nice. They're not a multi-hour smoker, right? They're maybe 45 minutes of small, and this is a B1 Bing by Nuttons. Oh no, they just have a classic look to them. The problem I have with Bings is I don't drive with them, because hitting bumps and things like that, this distance you get a lot of this going on, right? And I'm not wanting to dump a bunch of ash onto my nice clothes, but I prefer a Bing if I have a billiard, and there's a lot of options out there. You can go from the Savinelli Bing, which is, it's like I said, it's a nice Bing. There's a few different variants on that one. I prefer the Bruno Nuttons Bing, but whatever you find, give it a try. I just really like this for a billiard. And then the last one that's my favorite kind of general production pipe. It's, I don't know, it's a little different. It's a Chacon reverse calabash. And I bought this one. I came across this one on the estate market, actually, and it was unsmoked at the time. It's been plenty smoked since. But I smoked a few different, I thought looking at them like this might be a nice English pipe, because it does have a pretty nice chamber. And it was good. I mean, it smoked like anything else, but I loaded this thing up with Virginia, and I believe it was Orlik Golden Slice that I first loaded it up with, and it changed the entire flavor profile for me. There's something about this back chamber, and the way a reverse calabash works, right, is you have your primary chamber, and then there's a secondary large chamber where the smoke can condense, right? So it slows down. Presumably, when it's slow, when the smoke slows, it'll cool a little bit. It'll dry out a little bit. Some of the water will fall out of it, and will condense out of it, and then you get a nice, cool smoke. I'm saying, regardless of any of that, it really makes Virginia's taste different. Maybe not necessarily better all the time, but certainly different. And this one's a particularly beautiful one. This one has a nice blast and a green stem. I've got another that kind of has a muddy blast and a regular black stem, and it smokes just as well. This one just, you know, most of the time you can hurt your pocketbook pretty well going after nice finishes when they smoke just fine as a rusticated or muddy sandblast with a black stem. But this was a surprise to me, and I recommend this to all my friends whenever when we have conversations with Pipe Club, or even with people that I talk to at shops. You know, it often goes into, you know, what's the kind of oddball pipe that's your preference, and this is it. This is the one that I think everybody should get. And the cool thing about them is they fit in your pocket so well. I mean, it's a great pipe. I think everybody should buy one or two or three, right? So, anyway, these are my 5 favorites, and they're borne out because I have multiple of each. But I hope this, gives you some insight. Maybe if you're thinking about buying a new pipe, you'll look at one of these. Again, we have the Peterson 80S Bulldog, the 7LE 614. Currently it's Chacombe, but historically it's been Comoy's 495 pot. The Bing, this one's a Bruno Nuttons, but 7LE is great too. All the rest of them are probably great. And the Chacombe reverse calabash. If you're thinking about getting a new pipe, I highly recommend all of these. And I promise to be a little better at getting content out. With that, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have some great coffee today. Maybe have a pipe and enjoy a few minutes reading.